In the heart of the dry and fiery African savanna, where the heat burns the sky, where each wind carries the red dust of harshness, a cycle of life and death still quietly takes place every day. As the dry season drags on, rivers shrink into muddy puddles, trees wither, and life seems to be squeezed to the limit. It was there that a symbol of wild power appeared: the giant of nature, the adult male African elephant, weighing more than 6 tons, with long curved tusks like a warrior's sword. Subscribe to our channel to never miss out on the most authentic and dramatic wildlife documentaries. Beside it is the herd of elephants, a close-knit family led by a wise, resilient female elephant. The small, fragile baby elephants are the future of the herd, and the reason why the herd is ready to fight to the last breath. And the journey of survival begins. In the wild, no power is absolute. Even giants like the African elephant are not immune to predators lurking in the shadows. One of the most dangerous opponents of elephants, especially young elephants, is the lion, the master of ambush on the savanna. They never act alone. Comment number 1 if you are also fascinated by the extraordinary journey of elephants in the heart of wild Africa. A pride of lions hunts tactically, silently following a herd of elephants for hours, even days, waiting for the moment a weak individual is separated from the herd. When night falls, darkness becomes a powerful ally of predators. Taking advantage of the elephant's poor eyesight in the dark, lions choose the weakest target, usually a baby elephant or an old elephant. Then patiently defeat the prey. But even the giant cannot afford to be careless in the wild, because enemies lurk in the shadows. Their target is not the strongest, but the weakest link, a lost calf, an old or injured individual. They approach from behind, where the elephant has little visibility, and attack the legs or belly, vulnerable spots that can easily cause the elephant to lose balance. And in moments like these, the lion's roar blends with the panicked roars of the elephants, creating a breathtaking symphony where the boundary between life and death is just one precise pounce away. This is more than just a hunt, it's a game of survival between intelligence, instinct, and courage. In the darkness, the elephants escaped the clutches of their enemies, but as the morning light broke, another and more ruthless enemy emerged: nature. No need to ambush, no need to pounce. Nature just needs to quietly drain the last drops of water to sow the collapse. The dry season came early, more fierce and brutal than usual. Rivers dried up, puddles turned into toxic mud pits. The old baobab trees had no water left in their trunks, and the ground cracked like a map of pain stretching to the horizon. The elephants were in crisis. The old elephants had no strength to stand up. The young elephants were parched with thirst. Their eyes were dull from lack of water. The whole flock became unnaturally silent, a silence not of peace, but of despair. Food was scarce. Every leaf became a resource to be fought over. And then, the survival instinct arose. With no other choice, the elephants retreated, beginning a journey across the dead earth to find water. Leading the group was a giant, his ears twitching to listen, his feet firmly stepping on the burning sand. It is not just the strongest, it is the wall of life and death between the herd and destruction. On that journey, every step is a declaration of war against nature, that, no matter how harsh, life will not surrender. The elephant's journey to survival leads them to a land where there is still a pool of water, an oasis in the middle of a hopeless desert. But where there is water, there is conflict. And here, the battle is not only against nature, but also against one's own kind. When many elephants flock to a scarce resource, conflict is inevitable. It's not just about fighting for drinking water, but also for territory, mating rights, and asserting status. The bulls, who had been traveling alone or separated from their herds, now gathered and confronted each other. Without any signal, just a glance, a tilt of the head was enough to start the battle between the giants. Ivory-touched tusk, the heavy blows of tons resounded like the sound of hammers hitting the ground. Dust flew everywhere, blood splattered on the hot ground. On one side was the young male elephant, furious, competitive, eager to prove himself. On the other side was the old elephant, stubborn, experienced, and with terrifying endurance. And when threatened to the limit, the giant truly rages, a fury of such primal power that the land seems to hold its breath as tusks turn into weapons and the heavens and earth shake with mortal collisions. After bloody battles between their own kind, whether they win or lose, the survival instinct still urges the elephants to continue moving forward. Because that water is only temporary and the dry season is not over yet. Ahead of them lay an even more arduous journey, a migration of hundreds of kilometers through dust, hunger, and danger to reach the last remaining land of life on the other side of a raging river. The river is not only deep and swift, but also harbors death crocodiles, silent predators that lie in wait beneath the murky waters. When the elephants weighed down, the baby elephants are the most fragile creatures. Effort. Getting the baby elephant out of the dangerous, strong current. Its fury shattered the surface of the water, delivering terrifying blows to the crocodile, forcing the predator to retreat. Life was preserved with uncompromising force. Finally, after long days of overcoming drought, enemies, and the very boundary between life and death, the elephants reached the land of water. Life was temporarily resumed. But in this wild world, there is no such thing as eternal peace. Danger always lurks, and new battles have only just begun. Survival is the reward for those who never fall. and when pushed to the limit, the giant rose up, carrying with it a fierce rage like a natural earthquake of revenge, carving his name into the legend of the steppe.
Onto the scene. Trump continued